Why do you think it's so important for young folks to have this experience?
Because they get that exposure early in life. They don't grow up hearing like regurgitated and recycled myths about Africa. Oh well, no, the Africans don't like us. I never had that experience here. It's dangerous. I felt safe this whole trip. Seriously, I felt safe this whole entire trip. I didn't have to worry about COVID too much at all. You're gonna get kidnapped and they got terrorist groups. I mean, no, I'm still here.
And we're gonna get you to the airport and get you back too. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Again, here in Accra, Ghana, as a part of the Maximum Impact Travel Experience, and I'm talking to Ciera King. She is from Be More. You from the east side or the west side? West side?
Baltimore County. So
you the county. Okay. The county. You are here, and you are also, as Miss Rose stated, you are known as the baby girl of the group. So you are the youngest member of this particular group.
Yes.
And why did you decide to come to Ghana?
Because I heard like so many things about Ghana. I heard it was the gateway to Africa. That's like one of its nicknames. And I've heard stories about people going to Africa. I had a friend, he went to Ghana in December for the whole month. And like he documented his story on Facebook. And like everything was so inspiring. And that made me decide like, I really want to go. And it also started when I was on Instagram and I saw your ad.
So them IG ads work. And found on IG representing, okay. So you saw the Instagram ad, you had your friend who had a first-hand account of being here.
Yes.
But you're also someone who, you're into language and you have been learning Twi, which is a traditional Ashanti, I guess, Akan, let me say
Yes.
the Akan language.
Yes.
Why Twi and not French or Spanish or
'Cause that's
Chinese or,
Okay.
you know?
So I did take up Spanish in college.
Okay.
And then in my high school, we had Chinese. We also had other languages offered like French and Spanish. But I decided to learn an African language because we don't get that in the States very much. So as African people or black people or people of African descent, whatever you want to call yourself.
Right, it's so convoluted now, you know. You got people sitting around arguing over, I'm not this, I'm not that,
So for the sake of it,
Right.
you know what I'm talking about.
Right.
But we don't get those opportunities to learn those languages. So I think it's important that we connect to our roots and that we connect with, because it helps us connect with our continent,
Right.
our mother continent. So that's why I decided to learn Twi. I tried learning other languages too, like Yoruba or Swahili. I didn't have the discipline though. So I decided, you know what? I'm gonna sit down and I'm going to study this language the best way I can. And I have like books, I use apps. I took some courses at the Twi Learning Center. They're located in Accra, so shout out.
Shout out to the Twi Learning Center in Accra.
So yeah, and I had a really good experience. So I figured, well, we can like practice that here. So I've been using like a little bit of Twi here and there. Like sometimes I may say Madase, which means thank you. Machia, which means good morning. Like, just small phrases. And that does help a bit because like it's like, oh, you took the time to learn a language.
So it says that you really care.
Yes.
And I mean, so a point that you made a few moments ago was how we learn all of these other languages. So we'll learn Spanish and French and Chinese, but they won't teach us indigenous African, quote unquote, African languages. And a lot of people, the first thing they'll say is if they'll say you're not from there or whatever, but we're not from France either. Meaning, I mean, I'm just saying, we're not from Spain. I mean, some of us really are, but we'll learn their languages will learn Chinese without question and brag and boast about I've learned Chinese, but won't even think about Swahili, won't even or don't even know about Swahili. So what do you think that says on a broader scale as far as like our conditioning?
It says a lot, like how we value other people's cultures over our own. Like we won't see the value in learning languages that our ancestors spoke. But the interesting thing is you'll see other groups of people learning our languages, because this is what happened. When I first signed up for the Twi Learning Center, that's a second shout out, the person in charge of the center, Emmanuel, he sent me a video. So this white guy, I think he was in the UK.
That sounds about right.
He was speaking Twi fluently.
Okay, so let's rewind this for everybody. So there are people who are of African descent, maybe in denial, because you got a lot of people in denial, that whole thing. And they're learning the master's languages, because when you look at the colonial, they might not learn so much Dutch, because but they're learning the French, they're learning Spanish and the English. So they're getting that, and they see that as normal. But then they see the indigenous language as abnormal, but the Europeans will come learn the indigenous languages and get among the people. And that could be part of the reason why many people here on the continent don't see Europeans in the same light as many people from America. So when you start because they'll come and learn their languages. And then and we'll say, I don't want to go. I'm gonna go to Paris. I'm gonna go to London. I'm gonna go to Amsterdam. But we won't come and be among the people. It was like last night when we were in the. No, you weren't there last night. We were in the van, and so I started singing all of these local artists, and so the people who were from here, Victoria, and the driver. They were like, what? He knows these songs. I mean, and I put them in and I was singing the song. They were like, we need to record you. But it was because I took the time to care. I care. And so you learning Twi says a lot, and you'll go far, in this particular culture with that.
Yeah, because when I came here, like the first day, there was a guy, what was his name? Jones. He was like one of the bellhops. Mm-hmm. I was speaking a little bit of Twi to him. He was like, oh. He was like, it was like a wow. And he taught me like a few things, like how to say like a couple of other phrases in Twi. Mm-hmm. But it's like, and he took the time like to like, like how do you say certain words, like, the more you practice, you'll get better. Yeah. Yeah. Then I had another guy, because my TV wasn't working.
Oh, the TV wasn't working. See, that's that U.S. thing right there. The TV, she was going through them withdrawals. She was in there withdrawing.
So I survived. So I'm like, so the technical guy came in. I just said something like, what did I say? Thank you so much for helping me. I was like, oh, you speak Twi? I said, a little bit. Are you Ghanaian? I said, no, I'm not Ghanaian. Oh, I'm not I wasn't born here. Well, but you look Ghanaian. I'm like, okay. So I don't know what, I don't know.
Well, but the good thing is that at your age that you have done this. There are people 2, 3, 4, maybe not 4 times, but 3 times your age who have not had this experience. Yeah. And when I saw that you were coming along, I was really excited for you, because I knew that this would plant seeds in your life that you'll be able to carry. Why do you think it's so important for young folks to have this experience?
Because they get that exposure early in life. They don't grow up hearing like regurgitated and recycled myths about Africa. Like, oh well, the Africans don't like us. I never had that experience here. It's dangerous. I felt safe this whole trip. Seriously, I felt safe this whole entire trip. I didn't have to worry about COVID too much at all. Oh, well, you're going to get kidnapped and they got terrorist groups. I mean, no, I'm still here.
And we're going to get you to the airport and get you back too.
Yeah, but I felt safe this whole trip. I had a good time. The food was really good. I didn't have to worry about eating at all. So that's another thing. Yeah, I didn't have any negative experiences. Now, Africa does have its problems, but that's everywhere. Yeah. We got problems in America.
A whole lot of them. There are people in denial about it.
right? And they don't show that like internationally. Like,
This is what I've noticed in America with a lot of people, is that we will have some of the craziest stuff going on. We got people standing up in buildings, shooting out in Vegas, spraying a whole audience of people, going into churches and killing innocent people while they're having church. People going into schools, shooting the children in the schools. Movie theaters. But somehow, we're the greatest. And so I'm here. I'm not worried about getting shot here. I'm not worried about, now there are places in Africa where this stuff is, you can get kidnapped if you go to the wrong place, but you go to the wrong place in America, you get kidnapped too. Nobody talks about the human trafficking that's happening right in the shadow of the White House. These are things that,
DC.
Yeah, DC, right? I mean, but it's like in the shadow of these places, that's in essence slavery that's happening in America that people aren't talking about. So it's like all of these narratives, and then we're like, be careful, be safe over there, without even seeing what's happening right where we are.
Right.
It's like when I come back to the States, I'm thinking about, man, what if a bullet comes through and does something?
Right.
So I'm glad that you're able to process that for yourself, and you saw it for yourself, and you're not listening to the peanut gallery tell you how to think. And I mean, that's what inspires me. You're able to see it and process it, and then when they come back to you, when you go back, you're able to say, well, I hear what you're saying.
but I've been there.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I'm like, oh, well, I've been there. I spent like a whole week there. I studied Africa.
Yeah.
So you can bring all the regurgitated myths all you want, but I've been there.
And that's all that needs to be said. You've been there. I really want to thank you for being on this trip. I want to thank you for trusting me with the trip. I think your words were eloquently spoken and in such a way where it will inspire someone else, especially someone younger in life, to not wait until they get older to come visit the continent. Right now we're in Ghana. There are 54 countries. There are thousands of ethnic groups. There are thousands of languages. Twi is just one of thousands of languages that you can learn. But how do you think, and I'll leave you, this will be we'll wrap it up with this. How do you think this trip will change you moving forward?
Like, desire to travel more, especially to here.
Yeah.
Like, I'm thinking about, what am I thinking about? South Africa,
Okay.
Egypt, Tanzania.
All right. You said it the right way. You said you put a little cut Tanzania. There you go.
Ethiopia, Sierra Leone, like different places.
Different places. Now you're ready to explore.
Yeah, and like other places outside of Africa
Yeah,
too.
absolutely.
Yeah. Like, people say, oh, well, you're not African because you've never been to Africa. But Kwame Nkrumah said, I'm not African because I was born in Africa. What makes me African is this Africa's in me. So even though they took us out of Africa, there were certain things that were kept, like the way we wear our hair, some of the dances that we do. Even when speaking English, like there's Ebonics, and that has a bit of African in it too.
Absolutely.
Like, yes, like the way Gullah Geechee, especially.
And they'll look negatively upon that because, we're taught that the proper way is the English way and the proper way. And I've heard like black folks say this, and I'm looking at them and I'm saying, and let me be fair because, and this is black folks from the UK that I've heard say this. And it's like, in my mind, I'm remembering when I used to think like that too, because it's an evolution, it's a process where you begin to learn, but it's like, we will look down, we would say something is bad or uneducated, but it's really just a part of the culture, and and it was not indigenous, it wasn't native to them. English was not their native language. That wasn't what they came here with, so they were modifying it. When you talk about the Gullah Geechee and things like that, it was a modified form.
Yes, yeah. And when we were on the plane to Kumasi, I noticed Chinese. That's something I noticed, like on the plane.
Oh yeah, what is it? The plane came from China.
But yeah, but
it used to be an Air China plane. China Express. It was China Express.
Oh, okay.
And they sent it over here. So.
Okay, but that also speaks to how like China, like the Chinese are like they're bringing their language here.
Oh, do they? Yes.
Yeah.
So we need to be aggressive, and we need to be, like you learn some Twi. I can't wait to see how life unfolds for you, and I hope I'm around the years from now just to see as you develop and how this trip impacts you. And that's what I know happens. That people are impacted in many ways. There are people who moved here to Ghana after coming on these trips, and it's an experience that I know is priceless. So,
thank you.
So anyway, we're here talking to Ciera King, and if you want to have this experience for yourself, that's right. Join us on the Maximum Impact Experience here on the continent of Africa. Right now we're in Ghana, and you can check out the website MaximumImpactTravel.com. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Tell everyone everywhere. See for yourself. Don't let somebody else's negative opinion shape your opinion. See for yourself, and then take that information, and let's continue to tear down the walls of misinformation. Until next time, take care. Be safe.
Open up your eyes and see all the fun and mystery. Take an African adventure with Darren and Destiny. From the mountains to the shore, so many things to explore. Take an African adventure with Darren and Destiny.
The Adventures of Darren and Destiny. And Darren and Destiny are twin brother and sister, and you go on their adventures throughout the African diaspora, meaning so African diaspora destinations, primarily focused in Africa, but we go to South America, we're going to go to the Caribbean. Their first book is going to take you to Ghana, and then we're going to go on a safari, and from there we're going to go to Ethiopia, and then we go to Salvador, Brazil. And what the goal is to be able to inspire curiosity in the continent of Africa, in our children from a very young age, and to really tell a more accurate story. Most of our children are exposed to negative images, late night infomercials about how bad things are, everybody's sick, everybody's poor, everyone's uneducated, but that's simply not true. So what Darren and Destiny and their family do is they go to different African destinations. They're learning about these different places. You're beginning to see positive images, but still telling the truth. I mean, that's the important thing, to tell the truth about some of the things that have occurred. But it's all done on a children's level so they begin to understand it. And it begins to pique their curiosity. They begin to learn more. And hopefully one day they will want to explore and visit the continent of Africa and its many countries. There's just so much that Darren and Destiny are able to do, and as they're doing it, it's like they begin to open the minds of a new generation, and they don't get bombarded and indoctrinated with negativity. They're actually able to see positivity and inspiring images and messages about the African diaspora, as well as those who are still indigenous to the continent of Africa, and they begin to learn more and just see things differently. So I'm excited about introducing the Adventures of Darren and Destiny.